Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to evaluate functions using the Inspire calculator. The first method I want to show you is how to define equations on the calculator. So let's start by going to a new document. We're going to add a calculator page. Okay. Step 1 will be to type out the word define. Once we type the word define, go ahead and press the space bar located to the right of the letter Z. Now we can go ahead and type in the equation that we want to define. Let's go ahead and type in the equation in this example. So we're going to type in f parentheses n close parentheses equals -2 parentheses n plus 3 close parentheses minus 5. Press enter. Okay. So we have now defined our function f of n. So our example problem is asking us to find the value of f of 5. So going back to our calculator, we can go ahead and type in f parentheses 5. Notice how the f is bolded. This is because we have defined the function. We press enter and it returns an output of -21. This method is extremely useful to define the function at any value. So if I wanted to evaluate the function at +1, I could do so. If I wanted to evaluate the function at -6, I could do so as well. So this method can be used to define the function at any value, which can be very useful. The second method I want to show you is the storing values method. Now this method can only be used to evaluate the function at one particular value. So we're going to go back to our calculator page. This time we're going to be assigning a specific value. So in this case, we're going to assign a value of -2 to our variable x. To do this, we're going to type in -2. We're going to press Control, then var. Notice that we have this little arrow. This means that we are going to assign -2 to a specific variable. Go ahead and type in your variable now. Press enter. You get your output of -2. So now, when I type in x on the calculator, notice once again I have a bolded letter. I press enter and I obtain a value of -2. This is again because we have assigned a value to the variable x. Now, when we type in our expression, 3x squared minus 1, the calculator will give us the corresponding output of 11. Again, these two methods are very different. One, we are defining an equation, and we can define that equation at any value. The second method is assigning a value to a specific variable, and we can only evaluate at that specific number. The next method I want to show you is how to obtain your inputs and outputs from a graph and table. For this method, we're going to go back to our home screen. We're going to go to New Document. This time, however, let's go ahead and go to Graph. You should notice that we have our f of x. Notice that the equation that we are given says h of x. H of x is our output. In a calculator, f of x is our output. They are both outputs, so it does not matter that this one is named h. and that this one is named f. We're going to go ahead and type in our equation, and we're going to press enter. This is what this function looks like. Now, in this question, we are asked, what is the value of x when h of x is 13? Keep in mind that x is our input. H of x is our output, also known as our y. So in this problem, they're basically telling us, hey, y is equal to 13. What is x equal to? So we're asked to work backwards. When this is the case, using a graph would be the easiest method. We're going to follow the steps on screen. Once we have the graph, we press Ctrl T to get a split screen and see the table. Now we can see the graph and table side by side. Notice, x is the first column, that's our input. F of x is our output, which is our y value. We are looking for a y value of positive 13. So we begin to scroll down the table, but notice these values are negative. And the further I scroll down, the smaller the number. This tells me that I have to scroll in the opposite direction. And the further I scroll up, I notice that these numbers begin to increase and become positive. I have now found my y value of 13, and the corresponding x value is negative 4. So in this case, x is equal to negative 4. We can now go back to our calculator and assign a value of negative 4 and verify that we get an output of 13. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to type in negative 4, Control var, and we're going to assign negative 4 to our variable x. Enter. We can now type in our expression into the calculator. 3 minus 2 parenthesis x minus 1. Enter. The output is 13, and that was the desired output, which means that I found the correct input of negative 4. I hope this video was helpful to you all in evaluating functions and finding the correct input and output. Be sure to complete your quizzes assignment and your reassessment in order to earn points back. Have a great day.